Five. Hey, what's up, guys? So, yeah, time for a weekend live stream hangout. I haven't done one of these in probably been about a month or so. So, yeah, I've just kind of been like getting back into the swing of things as far as working on videos. Yeah, so I figured I'd just kind of hop on, chat with you guys. I feel like I've been kind of out of the game for a little while. Yeah, it's been a little while, and it's good to finally start getting back into things. The past week or so, I've just been catching up on like everything that's been going on, all the new changes, new detectors that have come out. Some new detectors have actually been released. I'm going to talk about them here in just a second. So a bunch of stuff. I figured I'd just kind of go over one or two things, and then we can just kind of hang out, chat. Let's see, where's the chat window thing? It disappeared. It needs to show up for me. How do I make it show up again? Where is it? I don't know. It disappeared on me. Weird. Okay, so anyways, yeah, we're up and running. I'm gonna have to I'll figure that out in just a second. For some reason, the chat thing where I can see all your comments disappeared. It's the weirdest thing. I have no idea where it went. Okay, well, I'll find it in a minute. Well, I guess the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the unit in DFR 8 and 9. It's now out. They released the DFR 8 first, and then 9 is now out as well. It's basically the updated version of the DFR 6 and 7, so kind of the more budget detectors, and they have a lot of the features that the R3 has. Not all of the features. The R3, it's a more capable platform. It's got, better filtering, better performance, a lot of that kind of stuff, but a lot of things like the new display R3 has. I know the detectors are off, so you can't see them. The video, I've got the link in the video description that goes over the detectors. It's got the new color OLED display. It actually has some features that the R3 doesn't have, like an automatic dimming display. It's got an ambient light sensor. And so, when it gets dark out, the detector can automatically reduce its brightness, things like that. It gets brighter, brightness goes back up. The R3 doesn't have that. It's reliant on GPS and stuff. The only difference is we do have kind of like pre-production DFR 8 and 9s. The only difference is there's two things. There's a couple things as far as firmware, but that'll be on the public ones as well. The mount here, I don't know how well it'll show, but it kind of gets scratched up. It's sort of shiny plastic material, and so they changed the mount itself to make it better at hiding scratches and stuff when you put it on and off your windshield. So the ones that we have are a little bit scratched up, but the new ones should actually be better in that regard. The other thing is, speaking of the ambient light sensor, which is what made me think about it, with these ones, they actually weren't working that well. They would adjust at the wrong time, so it could be bright outside, but the detector would just go dark. And so they've adjusted the thresholds as far as, well, the ambient light sensor thing. And so it should work better now in the public ones. The ones we have don't actually work that great in that one. So that was one of the changes that we saw in beta testing, that they fixed it for the public releases. I don't have one of the public ones, like the full production ones here yet. I'm sure I will at some point, but yeah, they're available now. Pretty much, if you're looking for an inexpensive detector, they're like the DFR 6 and 7, a couple dollars more, but they have a bunch of nice new updates. Again, same platform, so same performance and filtering, but a lot of new features that they've added. I thought it was just a cosmetic update with a new case and a new display, but it turns out there's a lot of little things. A lot of the features that are going to be coming to the R3 that these ones already have, and even some things like the auto dimming display that the R3 can't have due to hardware limitations. So yeah, cool detectors, and looking like kind of the new picks. The DFR 6 and 7 are being discontinued. I'm still seeing, I think, a couple places that still have a little bit of inventory, but they're pretty much selling out. I know BRD already sold out of them, I believe. So there's a couple places that still have the last gen ones, but now they're migrating over to the new ones. So yeah, that's the story with that. And with that said, I got to figure out how to get the chat to come back. This is the weirdest thing. I can always, I guess, I'll log in and watch from my phone or something. Here, I'll do this. Sorry for technical difficulties. Usually the chat, as you guys talk, it shows up here right next to my screen, but for some reason now it is not showing up. So I can see myself, but I can't see what you guys are doing, and that's not the point. The point here is to just kind of chit chat, and we can both talk, communicate, and all that stuff. So I'm just going to pull it up here on a second feed. 1 second. Sorry for the goofiness with having to get this up and running. My channel. All right, got to find this video. Then I'll be able to see what you guys are doing. So, all right, let's do. Oops, and I got to mute myself on this other one. And let's do this. Okay, there we go. So now I got the chat window up. So hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I've been back. Yeah, or I've been away for a while. It's good to finally be back. I'm kind of slowly getting back into the swing of things. I was like all before I'd left, I was all busy to like get lots of stuff done, and there was some stuff that was going to be released. So I was getting everything ready for that, but then that got delayed, and so it's still coming out. So, anyways, now I'm just kind of like easing back into stuff, which is cool. Let's see. Oh, I have something. I need to fix this. You ever got a speeding ticket running jammers? Luckily, no. Knock on wood, been good. No tickets with the jammers. They've worked well for me every time. That's one of the reasons that you test and, make sure everything works well. And yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it, of course. It's always the like testing, make sure the install is good. We tweak stuff, meet up with people to see like how their install looks. I'll test other people's. I'll see what works well as far as like placement and effectiveness, what doesn't work well. So I learn a lot, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm able to share. Like when I do the tutorials and whatnot, a lot of it, it's based on things that I see in testing, things that I've done with my car. And a lot of the stuff actually comes from other people who do testing as well. They'll post pictures of their car, they'll share the test results, and then we see how well it does or if there's any issues. And we get a lot of information from that. So a lot of the information comes from you guys as far as how to do it well, and I benefit from that too. So far I've been good. I haven't seen a ton of laser here. I wish there was more speed enforcement sometimes, just gotta get more cool encounters to share with you guys and opportunities to use all the countermeasures and stuff. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. Let's see, any improvements to the Waylens 360? Yeah, so I've got it mounted in my car right now. I went to go, so it was sunny, I went driving, all that kind of stuff. Things looked good on my phone, but then when I transferred the video files to my computer, all the videos were corrupted. So I'm gonna have to like go back and re-download the videos and do it again. But I think it does look better. Just what I could see on my phone screen, things did look crispier and sharper, so that's really promising. Hopefully the flare is better as well. So what I've seen so far does look better, and that's something that I'd like to go ahead and do this coming week. Just kind of look through the videos and post a quick update video, both to one, get that done, two, it's something I've been wanting to do, and three, it's mounted right on the bottom of my windshield, and I need that space for mounting like radar detectors for videos and stuff. I normally run my detectors high up, but for videos, I like them mounted low. So it's kind of like prime real estate, and I need to finish that and get it off my windshield so I can, get back to some of the normal videos. And so I'm wanting to do that one pretty soon. Things are looking pretty good so far. But of course I have to take a look at the actual videos and see how they look on the computer and stuff. But yeah, so far they're looking better. So yes, it's good news. Bruno, Portuguese subscriber over here. You mentioned the Redenso Pro M was going to receive a new shell. Do you know when that's going to be? Yeah, they already have them. They came out, I think, over a month ago or something. So if you buy a new one now, they're kind of like redoing their packagings and their shells just to make sure everything looks the same. So if you buy a new one now, it should get the new shell. I don't know if you're in Portugal. I'm not sure if you're in the US or whatnot. But yeah, the new ones that you order have the new shell. If you have the old one, I've got one of each. It's the same thing under the hood. There's no functional difference. Bound to be. Wow. So there's a B. Yeah, the detectors are the same. So if you have the old shell, no big deal. But yeah. Is the Max 360C still locking up? Funny that you ask. So it's much better now. There's still a couple people reporting lockups with even the current firmware. I talked to Escort about it, in MPHP3. I talked to Escort about it. Did not go over well. I tried to share some information. They don't like links to RDF. Whatever. Things, I don't know. I'm kind of like losing faith in Escort to a certain extent. I was really hoping, there would be more. I don't know, like I left and was figuring, oh, there'd be an update for the lockups. And then we're still seeing lockups. And Escort was like, no, we haven't fixed. And I'm like, guys, no, it's better than before, but there's still to some extent an issue. I'm glad to see improvement. They released an update for the Max CI, which bricked the detectors. And now, like, if you updated within the time frame of when the update was available, you have to actually take the detector out of your car and send it back. So like some of the updates that we're seeing are not, I don't know. I was all excited after the interview, going there, but I'm not seeing much yet. Like, I know it takes time for them to release the updates and fully test everything, make sure it works well, but I'm not super, I don't know. I've kind of lost a fair amount of enthusiasm, especially after talking to Escort. And I don't know, I think it's for the best. Like, everything about them just kind of frustrates me, and I get upset and angry about that kind of stuff. And at this point, I'm like, hey, it's up to you guys. You don't really seem that interested, like genuinely, when push comes to shove, as far as doing this stuff. To some extent, yes, but I think it's just easier for me to be like, you guys do your thing. I wish you all the best. And in the meantime, let's work with other companies who actually do release awesome products and are really more engaged and interactive and just do a good job, So I'm just kind of like being more selective now as far as who I choose to spend time with. that's just for me and my own happiness and stuff. Just because they make radar detectors doesn't mean I have to be talking to them all the time, I guess. But I hope for the best for them. And yeah, I'm just going to spend more time focusing on other companies, I guess. Any updates on the TMG laser? Yeah, it should actually be coming out. They're expected in the next couple weeks. So I'm going to be working on that, getting the video, kind of going over stuff. There's been a fair amount of discussion already on the forums, but I'll have a bunch of information as far as my thoughts. I actually shot a video. It was supposed to initially be launched over Labor Day. So I actually have a video already ready, and all I have to do is like update the video description with the links to where you go get it. But it got delayed a little bit. And so they're actually waiting a little bit for the actual launch. And in the meantime, there's been more development. There's been more testing. The detector is improved, the jammer is improved, and they took care of one of the biggest issues. The alerts were not very attention grabbing, and then they've changed the audio alerts, and now they sound much, much better, which is great. So it's great. So the jammer is even better now. And yeah, so a lot of stuff has changed that I covered in the first video, even over the few weeks. And so I'm going to need to reshoot the video. But yeah. So, fun question. Thoroughly paranormal. Will you ever start your own radar or jammer company and design products the way you want? You would have no competition. Oh, I'd have competition, of course. I've been approached by several companies to have me come and help them develop products, and I've thought about it pretty seriously because that would be a great way for me to get involved and help create awesome products that would benefit you guys too. And I thought about that quite a bit, and if it would... My biggest concern about doing that is that, well, if I get too focused on one product, it would take away from me sitting back and being this like third-party, objective, unbiased tester, which I really like. And I love being able to look at all of the detectors across the board. And yes, I could definitely do a lot of good if I was to go and help develop something more directly. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've talked about that with 2 different companies. And I don't know. I keep coming back to the fact that I like just kind of sitting back and doing this sort of thing. And I don't know. I like this, and I feel like this is a way that I can already contribute a lot. And I don't know. I don't want to lose the whole like unbiased looking at all of the detectors thing just because, well, now I work with another detector and I have my own branded Vortex radar detector or something, So I've thought about it, but while I think it would be cool and I could definitely help a lot, I keep coming back to just really enjoying this. And yeah, for you guys asking about the news with the unit and with the arrows, I don't have anything to share. When I do, I'll share it, of course. Yeah, I know you're all excited about it too. I am. Whenever they release something, cool, but I don't have any information. It would be cool. Once I do, I'll definitely share. So yeah. Brazil. Oh, you're down in Brazil. So cool. Kind of strolling through. Is it running pop? New glitch in Escort Live. No, that's cool. Let's see. R3 update still in beta testing. They're wanting to release for the R3, the new firmware. They're wanting to do it pretty soon. Now that I'm back, I can go ahead and do a video if they give us the all clear. But yeah, hopefully soon. And I know I've been saying that for a while. And I know I'm kind of like, come on, release it. Even though there's still more things that they can develop as far as the filtering and the MRCD or whatever. There's always stuff they could add, but I kind of like to see them go ahead and release what they have and then just keep going, So we've been talking about that fairly recently, and they're also kind of wanting to get to the point where they want to release something too. So assuming all the latest, testing and confirmation and verification stuff looks good. Yeah, I'd like to see it come out soon. I already have like my website updated. Well, I haven't published it. I did by accident. I was trying to like update my tutorial on how to program the R3, and I think I messed it up when I came back from my trip. And I published some information about the new changes, and I was like, whoops. So I had to back it down to what the detector is like on 1.37. But I have a lot of that stuff already in place. And yeah, once they say, okay, let's go ahead and release this version, then I'll just like go out and shoot the video of like, here's all the new features. And I've been collecting clips of like the MRCD stuff in action, and they've been continuing to update that and improve the filtering and that kind of stuff. So once I have all the most current information as it continues to develop, and they say, let's go ahead and release this version, then at that point, I'll sit down and do the video and they'll release it. So yeah. Let's see. Will Thinkware have a 4K dash cam? I've asked them about that several times. I haven't heard anything as far as Thinkware developing a 4K dash cam. I'm sure it's got to be on their radar. That's kind of the thing that people are moving to. Even the F800 Pro, it's limited to 1080p. It's a lot of dash cams now are going to 1440p or even 4K. That's like the new thing. And so, no, I haven't heard anything. I'll see him again at SEMA coming up in, was that end of October, Halloweenish. I'll ask him about it again. But the last I talked to him a few months ago, nothing there. Let's see. Military here. What type of detector do you suggest for global travel? Great question. I don't know. I get asked all the time, what detector is good for this country or that one or that one? I'm not a good person to ask because radar, it's so different all over the world. The laws are different. The options are different. Sometimes you want an international version of the same detector to pick up radar guns that are in use there, but not here. And so things are really different everywhere you go. So I don't know if there's a one size fits all for everywhere. Yeah, and a lot of the stuff I don't have a good way of going out and testing and finding out in different language and location and all that stuff. So it's tough for me to even go and find that stuff out. It would be cool to do it. But yeah, I just out of what's available and what I know and what I'm able to test and find out about, I focus on the US and Canada. So if you're curious about other countries, maybe hop on the forums and ask specifically about what detectors are best for those countries, and you can get some specific information. Maybe there's one detector that'll be good everywhere, just coincidentally. Maybe you will need a couple different versions depending on what country you're in, or maybe avoid using a detector in places where they're really anti-radar detector, because that exists too. So you'll need to do a little bit of research, and it definitely depends also on which countries you're going to be going to. So yeah, and by the way, thank you very much for your service. Really appreciate it. Let's see. I haven't looked much at the GT1 comparable to the Max or the iX. I shot that video earlier. I'm going to be probably editing it later today and posting it next week. It's a Passport X80 in a different skin. So it's not comparable to the Max or the iX Koi. It's an M4, probably has BSRDR, but there's no manual to take a look at yet. Not the greatest filtering or range, but if you're looking for more of a budget detector, it's an X80. Not really budget if it's $300. I mean, for that kind of money, you can get like the DFR9. Is that this one? Yeah, the DFR9 for an extra $30, and you get better filtering and way more features and GPS lockouts without requiring a phone and stuff. So it's just another version of a detector that Escort already has out. So nothing particularly new about it. So yeah. Any idea when the Uniden R3 update is coming out? Yeah, rewind this video. That's always something we joke about like a drinking game. I got coffee here or something, but every time somebody asks, drink. So if you guys want to do a drinking game on a Sunday afternoon, you're probably watching the Seahawks game is actually going on now. So when I finish this, I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat and watch the game. But anyway, a little time, hop on and do a video. WP, can you do a review of the JBV1 app for the V1? I've wanted to for quite a while. The app keeps changing so much. There's never a good time to do it, but that's also on my list to do. It's just so many things to do. I mean, I just got back from the wedding and I'm getting back into all this stuff and catching up on everything that I missed. And then we're moving in 3 weeks. And so we're starting to pack and I'm getting everything set up for the new house. So it's just busy. Yeah. Oh, it's good, Henry. No worries. So it's just busy and yeah, just not enough time in a day. It would be awesome to have a whole team here to shoot the videos, but it's literally me. And I have help from testers online who will do a lot of the testing and stuff, but I'd love to have somebody help shoot videos, edit, manage all this. It's just, yeah, not enough time in a day is what it comes down to. But yeah, I'd definitely love to do something on JBV1. It looks awesome. They're going to be integrating with the TMG. They do really cool stuff. The crowdsourced alerts, it integrates with Waze. So within there, it can even report Waze. It can tell you when there's police spotted alerts, but you can't report out to the cloud just due to Waze's API. But yeah, there's a bunch of really cool stuff there. I think it's a fantastic app. And from what I've seen so far, and John Boy, the guy who's developing it, JBV1, John Boy, yeah, he's doing some awesome stuff and he's really on top of updates and listening to people and implementing requests. And there's just a lot of cool stuff there. So Yavi one was awesome when it was the only option out there, but development kind of ceased. And yeah, JBV1 is kind of the cool next thing. The interface is pretty different, but yeah, it's another cool app that's in development. So let's see. Drink on arrows or updates. Better pick only one. Our livers will thank us. Don't forget the new pause update in JBV1. What's pause? Tell me about that one, Darren. I haven't. See, this is the thing. I feel like I'm kind of out of the loop, and I'm like, oh, what's the newest update? So I'm having to myself catch up on everything, and I'm always like, man, I want to make videos, but a lot of my stuff behind the scenes is I'm having to research and Vascar Live. Is that people report in the app where Vascar is, or how do those reports actually get posted into the app? It's cool. Let's see. Is the DFR8 worth upgrading to from the DFR6? Maybe. Performance and filtering is the same. Not necessarily, to be honest. If you already have a DFR6, you don't really need to update. Watch my video. I put the link in the video description. It's been a little while, honestly, since I've like gotten into this. There's quite a few changes, and depending on what you need, if you want like lockouts for Ka band instead of just K band, or actually, sorry, you said DFR6. So there's no GPS stuff. There's still some things like the automatic dimming display. You know, it's got the new color OLED display. There's a bunch of other things too, and I need to. Hey, my doggy wants to come up. 1 second. Oh, no, going down. I need to actually go back and like refresh some of the stuff I want to do now that we're, you know, going public with this one. Or yeah, there's the production ones. I need to go and like for myself also review everything. Say hi, Albus. Say hi. I needed to just go back and kind of like get refreshed in it. But take a look at the video, and it should, I believe, go over the changes and improvements. I think I covered that specifically in the video. So take a look at that, and you can kind of get an idea of like if you want the changes or if you're cool with the DFR6. So yeah. Be nice if Uniden could figure out a way to regulate K-band breakthrough falses. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that everybody is working on. Everybody wants perfect BSM filtering, and it's very difficult. I know Uniden's working on it. Redenso seems to have some of the best so far. Stinger's been working on it. Escort, everybody's working on that. It's way tougher than, yeah, easier said than done, I guess. But yeah, everybody's working on that, and it would be wonderful. So any info on if the Waze app will integrate with the detector manufacturer? Escort Live used to do that. I don't know if they had an agreement with it or they were just kind of like accessing the API behind the scenes or something, but eventually the plug got pulled, and so Escort Live and Waze no longer share alerts back and forth, which would have been cool, but a lot of it just comes down to what Waze has available. Their API currently allows you to look at the alerts. That's what JBV1 does, but you can't post alerts. So like if you get an alert, you can't automatically report that as a police spotted alert or something. So there's limitations to what Waze offers, and they're kind of the ones that are calling the shots, I believe. I'm sure a lot of companies would like to work with them. They're kind of the big dogs in this sort of thing, but a lot of it kind of comes down to them. Let's see, tracking ADSB exchange and using known tail numbers. So this is cool. Bhaskar database. Okay, so plane stuff. So JBV1 is actually taking a look with ADSB to track, I guess, when police are using planes in the air. And that's pretty cool. I know there's different detectors that you can get for like monitoring air traffic, or Waze is always a good one too. But that's cool that he's pursuing that, especially with the tail numbers. I know there's some of that going on with, was it Flight Exchange or FlightAware 24 or something? Yeah, there's cool stuff being done there. But that's really cool to see that he's approaching that too. Thanks for the heads up on that. Yeah, Flight Radar 24. Is the R1 or R3 good enough in K-band? In Moldova, we have K-band only. It really depends. I know in some places, I think it's Eastern Europe, Moldova. Forgive me for my geography. But there's some radar guns that you will need a special detector for. And I don't know if the R1 and the R3 are able to detect based on, can they detect a low enough frequency? Do they have kind of the faster? I know there's like some K-band pop that's in use. These ones can detect it, 67 millisecond. I don't know about the 6. I know Russia has the Strelka. But these ones aren't designed to detect it. So depending on which radar guns are in use there, it may or may not be suitable for you. And again, that's the kind of stuff where you would need to ask somebody who's more familiar with the radar guns in use in your area. And that's why it's difficult for me to say whether or not it would be a good choice. So yeah, Eastern Europe. Yeah, we have Russian guns. Okay, in that case, it may not. You may need something like a Redline EX that has support for some of those guns, or like the Max International or something. So I wish I had better information for you, but if you hop online, you can find some more information, maybe a Genevo product or something that'll let you know. So, all right, down on this. Let's see. Most effective radar gun and its relative detection distance. They all work well. The newer ones, the Stalker DSR-2Xs, are pretty popular. They can transmit front and rear antennas simultaneously. They can track multiple directions better a lot of times. They're weird as far as how they jump with between different sources and stuff. There's a lot of great radar guns. Decatur, MPH, a lot of them haven't really been updated that often. I mean, effective depends on what you're looking for, I guess. But when it comes to the detectors, all the detectors can detect all of them. They're cool to play with, but yeah. Lots of stuff recently on RDF about R3 reliability problems. Should the future customer and me be worried? Yeah, so that's actually one of the concerns. People are saying, hey, did my R3 stop working? A lot of times, not always, a lot of times it's user error, people not realizing I passed a cop and my detector didn't go off. Sometimes it is something like the display malfunctions, or I've had an LRD 950 that stopped detecting radar and I had to send it back in and it get repaired. It does happen. There are some current concerns about the legitimacy of the complaints, just due to a certain company who's engaging in reputation management stuff and going out and signing up as different users and saying, hey, this detector is great, and these ones, they have problems. So we're kind of like looking for more verification. I'm not saying that's everybody, but there is some of that going on, unfortunately. Oh, it's okay. My dog hold on. My dog wants to go back inside. There you go. All right. So there's a lot of concern about just the validity of everything and making sure the tests are done properly. Some of them are not. Some of them there's no verification, and that's always important to see. Is there something going wrong? If you've had 5 detectors and 4 of them are going wrong, are you really sure? Because that's kind of abnormal. I mean, things can happen. Yes, I've had a unit detector go bad too, but there's always a little bit of questions. So iPhones go bad. I've had an iPhone go bad, gets replaced. I mean, tech stuff, things will happen. There's been a lot of stuff with the Unidens. People just they buy it as their first radar detector, and they don't realize when you pass a cop, it's not always going to go off, or yes, it will false alert. And there's some. Why does it laser false? That is an issue that is being worked on. So it's kind of tricky sometimes to figure out, is it a legitimate thing? Is it not? And personally, I wouldn't be too worried. I've had like a dozen Uniden detectors. I've had one with an issue. If it goes wrong, that's what the warranty is for, but that also applies to Prudenso or Escort or Stinger or whomever else. Tech stuff sometimes does fail. And at this point, it's just kind of like making sure, is everything valid? Is it true? What's the failure rate? Doesn't seem to be too bad. But yes, sometimes people do report that the detector isn't working properly. It alerts to door openers, but not to police officers, okay, are you sure the detector is malfunctioning? So there's always some discussion there. And yeah. Can you do KA lockouts on the R3? No, you cannot. But on the next firmware, you will be able to. It's available on the DFR9 now, and that's going to be coming over to the R3 and the next firmware whenever it comes out, which hopefully should be soon. I once had 2 bad Escort red lines in a row from Amazon, failed within days each. Got my 3rd one from a local store, and it worked great. Never had issues. That happens. I mean, it happens. I've had a speaker fail in a red line. That's a known thing. Has to go in for resoldering. There's no detector that's immune from failures. And I guess that's one of the things, since the detector is a little bit newer and there's new people using it, it's always kind of tricky to figure out, is the issue legitimate? Not everybody has a radar gun to test and verify, or if they do they test properly? Stuff happens. So opinions of Escort after your tour and interview. Still waiting for updated firmware for Auto JTK for the lockouts to be fully received. Or there seems to be some lack of communication within Escort as far as what I was told there, and then some people that you talk to online. Not everybody's on the same page. So I hear something here, but then I also hear something else there, and I'm like, guys, you're telling me you're going to work on something, but it doesn't get done, and somebody else is telling me something completely different. So I think there could be benefit from a little communication within Escort so that everybody's on the same page. And I've tried to work with them of hey, let's work with enthusiasts, and that was a big part of the interview. It's been really disappointing to see what's been happening with a lot of the stuff there. So I'm just I don't know. MRCD detection for the R3 also apply to my R1? Yes. Will it, with the TMG launch on the horizon, when should we expect a Vortex review? When it launches? I've shot the video already, but I need to reshoot it because stuff has changed since new products especially change a lot, continue to be updated. So yeah, I actually need to reshoot the video, and I'll have a bunch of information for you with test results people have been testing in the past couple months. The algorithms continue to be improved. The audio alerts, as I mentioned earlier in the video, are improved. A lot of stuff has been improved. New hardware. There's now splitters. So before you could run a max of only 4 heads, but now there's splitters available, so you can run a max of 8 heads. So there's still a lot of stuff that's changing, and so I'm kind of waiting for the dust to settle a little bit. And the launch should be coming within the next couple of weeks, and I'll shoot a video and have that all ready for you guys. Let's see, using an R3 and an ALP in my Suburban. Yeah, sounds like a great combo. That's, one of the best radar detectors and laser jammers, and boom, great, Do you have an update on the VFO dash cams? Not yet. I'm working on it. I need to fix one of my mounts that got damaged with the USB port. Basically, if you're looking for one, the A119 Pro looks to be my favorite one so far. Out of the 3, the A119 has been popular. It's got the one with the display, or the camera lens that goes side to side. I've had one fail, and I don't see it to be hugely necessary, especially if you mount the camera in the middle of the car. But yeah, the A119 Pro here. I'll put the. I think I can do this while we're shooting. A119 Pro. I'll just put the link down in the video description for you. So we'll do this, and let's do. This would be one thing that'd be nice to have. Like, here we go. CFO A119 Pro. Boop. Okay, now that's down there. Back. Okay, so the link for you is in the video description. That's the one that I like the best out of the three. The A129, by the way, if you're looking for one that has parking mode capability, definitely take a look at the A129. It's a 2-channel one, but I believe you can also get a single channel version of it. There's going to be a new power cable coming out that allows you to hardwire it, and that'll allow it to track when the car is on or off to switch between driving mode and parking mode. So that's going to be something coming out. But yeah, if you're looking for just an inexpensive driving only dash cam, A119 Pro seems to be the way to go. Do you think Valentine will release an all new redesign at any point soon? Don't hold your breath. We've all been waiting for years for the patents to go through, for them to release something based on what they have been working on with patents pending. Like, we're all waiting. Yeah. Legan Downey, can you do a video with detectors and window tint and how it affects it? Already did. Search my channel. I've got a discussion about the different types of tint and how you can check if it affects your detector or not. So just search my channel and you'll find that. Let's see. How do you like the new bogey sound for the R3 update? Okay, it's like I need to, so 2 minutes. Okay, cool. I'm going to wrap up here and then off to lunch and off to go watch some Seahawks. So new bogey sound for the R3 update. I like it. I use, oh, hold on. I was thinking of some of the new tones in general. I use a custom one for the MRCD update, which false the other day. It does a pretty good job, but sometimes it does false, and it really got my attention. I got a funny video clip from that too. But the new bogey thing, yeah, it looks really nice. I love that. I always liked having it with the escorts and whatnot. Valentine did that, and now Uniden has it too. And I love having the new bogey just to make it very clear when you're listening that there is a new signal present. So, yeah. So anyways, all right, time to grab some food and head off and do some other real life stuff. So awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been good chatting with you. And yeah, oh, by the way, I guess last thing, I'll update this in the video description as soon as I sign off here. But for those of you guys in the Seattle area, I'm going to be giving a talk on Tuesday to like, there's a car group here, Avance or something, I believe it's called. They invited me to come speak. So I'll just bring a bunch of gear. We'll head down there. We'll chat countermeasures, radar detectors, laser jammers, all that kind of stuff. So Tuesday evening from 7 to 9 Pacific time, of course, because Seattle. If you guys are in the area, come on out, come say hi. That'd be fun. So awesome. Thanks for watching. Been nice chatting with you guys, and I'll see you later.